Hello, Real Women of Philadelphia judges and Anna and Miss Philly and everybody out there on the forums. Thanks for stopping in again today. My name is Janine Friesen. I'm from Steinbach, Manitoba, and I have participated in all 8 weeks of the Real Women of Philadelphia contest. This is week 8. This is dessert week again. Desserts are my thing. My daughter knows how much I love to bake, and she knows, I think she could see that I was that much more alive when it comes to dessert week. I have the ideas flowing. I'm asking her for ideas. She's got ideas. We're combining ideas and having a really good time with it. My daughter came up with the idea and challenged me to do 14 recipes during the second round of dessert week. Now, I put out 5 recipes in the first round of dessert week, and I thought I was busy then. But I've decided to take her up on that challenge. With Philadelphia cream cheese, I'm going to attempt to make 14 different recipes and have them loaded onto the realwomenofphiladelphia.ca website by Sunday evening. I'm going to be making cheesecake Black Forest brownies. Of course, starring Philadelphia cream cheese. I'm going to be making them gluten-free. Feel free to swap out the flour and the xanthan gum for regular flour if you don't need to eat gluten-free. I'm going to start with the brownie mix first, and then we'll do the cream cheese layer, and then we'll get on to the cherries. So first off, I have my oven preheated to 350 degrees, and I have an 8-inch square pan lined with parchment paper. I always line it just one way instead of both. And then I just find that if I cut around along the 2 sides, I'm able to lift the dessert out of the tray, no problem. Let's get started on the brownies. Get this out of the way first. I have half a cup of melted margarine and I have a 1/4 cup of cocoa powder. So I'm just going to mix the margarine and the cocoa powder together. Blending your cocoa powder in with your margarine or your butter before adding it to the rest of the ingredients actually helps to ensure that you do not have any lumps of cocoa in your mixture. We are going to put brown sugar, white sugar, and vanilla into the mixing bowl. And I need 2 eggs. I'm going to crack them into a separate bowl. 1 and 2. So now that I have my sugar and my eggs in my mixing bowl, I'm going to pop it into the stand mixer. I'm going to beat this until it's nice and smooth. Now that this mixture is nice and smooth, I'm going to mix in my margarine and cocoa powder mixture. We're going to mix this in. Now I'm going to add my gluten-free flour. I mixed my xanthan gum into here this time just because it was only a 1/4 teaspoon of xanthan gum, so I mixed it into the flour. And with chocolate stuff, I really like to add a little bit of espresso powder. It just really changes the flavor. It enhances the flavor of the chocolate. So here I have a teaspoon of espresso powder. We're just going to take and mix that up. Make sure when you're using a stand mixer that you take and scrape down the bowl in between. So our chocolate layer is finished now. It smells great. The chocolate put together with the espresso powder is just really, really good. So we're just going to take and pour our brownie mixture into our prepared pan. Then just take your spatula and just spread it around so that you have a nice even layer along the bottom, that your brownies will be the same thickness throughout. Now that we have our brownie layer in here, we are going to make our cream cheese layer. And for that, I need 1 brick of Philadelphia cream cheese. To my cream cheese, I'm going to add 1/3 cup of white sugar, a tablespoon of brandy, and also 1 egg yolk. Just the yolk. So now I'm going to take my hand blender and I'm going to mix this up until it's really creamy, and then we're going to put it on top of our brownies. I'm going to take my cream cheese layer now and kind of dollop it on, just so that I have more control over where it is, because I don't really want to mix it in too much with the chocolate layer. I'm fine with it mixing in a bit, but I don't want to stir it together. Then just carefully take and spread the cream cheese over the top of the brownies. Now that my brownies are topped with my cream cheese layer, I'm going to put them in my preheated oven for about 20 to 25 minutes. So I'm going to be taking my fresh Bing cherries and making a pie filling out of them that we are going to use to top the cream cheese brownies that are baking right now. Bing cherries need the seeds to come out of them. I do not have a cherry pitter, so what I did, and most of it was off camera because it kind of sprays everywhere, is I took my cherry and I took a chopstick and I took a bottle and I placed the cherry over the bottle and pushed down, and it takes the cherry out and pushes the cherry through. Sometimes it also pushes the bottom of the cherry through. Here it pushed the cherry or the pit through. Throw the pit in there, throw the cherry in there. Start the sauce. I have my saucepan here. I'm gonna have my sugar, cornstarch. We're going to take and mix those two things together first, just so that the cornstarch is all mixed into the sugar, because that's going to make it easier to mix in with the liquids. To this, I'm going to add half a cup of water, 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. Lemon juice just brightens the flavor, brightens the color. It does a lot of really good things for fresh fruit. So I'm going to stir this together until it's mixed. Now that the sugar, cornstarch, water, and lemon juice are mixed, I'm going to turn the heat up to about a medium-high. And I'm going to add my cherries in right away because we want them to cook up a bit. I have about 4 cups of Bing cherries seeded. So now we'll just keep an eye on this and wait for it to come to a boil and to start cooking. Once it comes to a boil, I'm going to turn it down to low and keep cooking it for another 10 minutes while stirring it. Our brownie and cheesecake layer is done. Our homemade cherry pie filling is done. And I'm telling you, why would you ever buy a can again? Look at the amount of cherries in homemade cherry pie filling. And after I cooked it before, right at the end you add a 1/4 teaspoon of almond extract, and that just takes it to a whole new place. It makes it fantastic. So I took my brownies and took them out of the oven at 30 minutes. I let them sit for about 10 minutes, and then I took them out of the pan with the parchment paper. I just lifted them out. So right now they're still warm. So I'm going to take and try to cut this into thirds, just using a knife and going straight down. It's still hot. The brownie is thick and it's gooey. The cream cheese layer is amazing. I'm going to take a dollop of homemade whipped cream, just slightly sweetened whipping cream with a little bit of sugar in it. I'm going to put what do I do first? A dollop of this beside here like that, because it's still hot, it'll run off. And I'm going to top it with our fresh cherry pie filling. There you have it, real women. Cheesecake Black Forest brownies. I know my husband will be so happy when he gets home from work today, because this is for dessert. Don't ask me what's for supper. I have no idea. I'm focusing on desserts this week. And now I get to try this amazing creation. It's great hot. If you let it sit to room temperature, it'll solidify just a little bit. And you have got to try this pie filling. I know you're going to have lots of chances to use cherry pie filling this summer. Please give this one a try. Amazing. A little bit of cream in there. Perfection. I really enjoy having you guys stop by my kitchen today. I enjoy being able to share with you and to show you that gluten-free eating does not mean that we go without or that we have no flavor. This proves it. Thanks again for stopping by today. I'll see you guys later this week. Bye for now.